Hello, everyone. Um, this is just a quick little update video about, classic Battlefront 2 and basically the future of, and me talking about the future of Star Wars game as a whole. But first things first, I want to get this right off the bat. Mod support is working. It 100% works. Like if I go into instant action, I installed the Battlefront conversion pack, which brings all the classic uh, Star Wars Battlefront maps into Battlefront 2. Like we have Alderaan, Bespin Cloud City, Bespin platforms, and they work. I also even tried putting on Battlefront Extreme, and that works too. I'm not gonna do these right now as a sort of test. Basically, I just want to talk about about what's going on. Basically, mod support is working again, and the reason for that is because I know this is kind of a little bit late, but the original creator of the unofficial patch. Basically, the unofficial patch is like the only thing that can, make the mods, actually work in the game. So, the man that released the unofficial patch released an updated version for it, so that will work after the most recent update by Disney. So now mod support is fully working, and also let's take a look here. The multiplayer servers are now working again. Like see here. All right, I know it says that that the ping is still at 0, but trust me when I say this, it still works. It does work. In fact, let's just jump into like Megiddo here. The problem before with the servers is that they wouldn't last longer than about 10 seconds, and oh, okay, that's fine. That means that I just logged in, right at this moment that the guy cut out. So that's fine. So let's do Megiddo this time. All right. Now it'll take about so and so seconds, but okay, what the hell's going on? This was working. Hang on. Let's do uh let's do Mos Eisley instead. That has the most. Oh, it's got a password. Never mind. Okay, let's just do one flag CTF. It might be that guy's server or something. I might have tried to rejoin it twice. Let's see. Yeah, I know it takes a long, while, but in the meantime, while we're waiting, another one of the things that I want to talk about is that the Ultimate Mod Pack, the latest version hasn't updated. It's still using like the older, unofficial patch that doesn't work anymore after the update. So sorry to say. So we're still gonna have to wait for the update on the Ultimate Mod Pack so we can go back to doing that again. But another thing that I want to bring up at the same time is that damn it. Okay, let me reiterate. The multiplayer servers are kinda working. And trust me on this, but I honestly earlier, today and the week before, I had absolutely no problems joining any of these servers. So I know this isn't a really good example, but it kind of sort of works, but at the same time, it doesn't. I don't know. And there still isn't a dedicated servers, and it's gone. Okay, so yeah. I guess it just isn't a good day to just try and show off that it's working, but technically it is working, but at the same time it isn't. I don't know, but anyway, I want to bring up to a which brings up my second, thing, the future of Star Wars games as a whole. Okay, all right. We all know we all know about the update to classic Star Wars. I mean, classic Battlefront 2 that puts multiplayer back into the game. All right, but this is the thing. The real question we have to ask ourselves is why did Disney do this? Now, the most, common answer, I've heard is because it's to, um, promote the new, Battlefront 2, but, build up the hype for it. But that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. If they just want to, build more, hype for Battlefront 2 in order for you to, go and get it kind of for promotional material, they would have released more gameplay trailers, showed off new maps or new game modes to the new one, but going back to like classic Battlefront 2 and just bringing multiplayer back on, it's kind of weird, and saying that as like promotional material does not make sense at all. And here is the reason why I think um Disney did this. All right. But first, let's talk about Electronic Arts. Okay. We all know, everyone knows is that nobody likes Electronic Arts. We still buy their games mostly out of necessity or just because we're total dumbasses, but I have never the last game I bought from, Electronic Arts was Dragon Age 2 back when it was still on Steam. And when they made the move to Origin, I did not follow suit. Like I never played Battlefront 3, 4 or I mean Battlefield, sorry. I never played Battlefield 3 or 4 or even Battlefield 1, which is the World War 1. Uh, sounds ridiculous when I said that. And I never played their version of the first, Battlefront. Okay, so oh wait, going back before the unofficial patch, I'll include a link in the description of this uh of this video showing you like uh where you can download the latest unofficial patch, install it, and you can play, all the mods on here. I should have mentioned that before, but I guess just got too caught up. But anyway, but anyway, um, one of the things I want to talk about is that is that EA has never made a decent sort of game ever. I mean, maybe they did back in the day, but even back then, some of the games back then were just eh. And we've had a whole string of stupid bland shit that EA puts on us every day, like the DLC vendor from Dragon Age Origins. Everyone remembers that guy. I remember him, and I can't believe they totally got away with that. And the fact that when they still had when they still had most of their games on Steam, like Mass Effect 2 and all that other stuff, the DLC was not available on Steam. You had to get it from the EA store, so you can play it on Steam, and that was stupid. That was stupid as hell. But actually, no. Let me rephrase that. It was greedy as fuck, because that's all EA is. They're greedy, and and frankly, they don't. EA does not care a single goddamn about their image. As long as they're making money, they're happy. They're happy, and they're constant liars and blah 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 this and blah 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 that. But I just want to get to the point of about when I, about about when they released the first Battlefront, their version of the first Battlefront. Okay, when I saw the gameplay trailer, I automatically knew right off the bat that it was not a gameplay trailer. First off, it didn't actually show gameplay. It was just a trailer that could have been made up of any mock CG, elements. That was the first clue. All right. And I mean, it sold pretty well, but no one stayed longer than at least like 4 months until everyone just got bored and moved on to other stuff. But the idea is that you make a game, a really good game, especially if it's like a Star Wars game. The idea is to make this game and keep it going on that same game. Like put in, like some like DLC or something like that, and basically it just tanked. Like, okay, I remember when EA was hurting so bad from from the poor sales and the everything, that they actually had to hire Markiplier to promote the game for them. I'll even include a link in the description of Markiplier's like a video showcasing like a Battlefront, and you can just tell how fucking bored he is. How he's trying to pretend to be excited, but it comes out as fake. The fact of the matter is that okay, I'm bad at this. I'm sorry, but okay, move ahead to like about now. EA is really not doing so good. Effect Andromeda is perhaps the biggest flop to have ever happened. Like, there is not a single good thing about Mass Effect Andromeda. The story is bad. The animations are bad. Everything about it is bad. It is so bad that they canceled all future DLC for the game. And not only that, but they recently, did NBA 2K18 or whatever the hell it's called, and that also tanked. And quite frankly, all right, now we all know about Battlefront 2 and all that with the beta and all, but the fact of the matter is that the one is the star card system, which you can get from loot boxes. Now, I don't care much about loot boxes. I know it's a pretty goddamn big deal, okay, but what I want to say is this: it's short and sweet. I don't care about loot boxes. If loot boxes, d- are like Overwatch loot boxes, where it's just like voice lines or cosmetic items or something, anything that doesn't affect gameplay, I'm totally fine with it. It's fine. Of course, I know it's stupid that you gotta pay money to get the stuff that you want as a chance, but again, it's not that to me. It's not that big of a deal. But if you have loot crates that are selling items or rather skills for a certain character that you can level up at will, there's a problem, a big fucking problem. And yeah, I know about the whole thing with the star cards for Battlefront 2 and the loot crates for Shadow of Mordor, but I want to talk about Battlefront 2 in particular. All right. Now, if it was, a star cards, the skill things for, like a hero, I could probably understand that. But no, it's not for just, the heroes. There's also for the infantry, the specialist infantry, and even, the vehicles and the goddamn space fighters. And and leveling them up is insane. Like anyone can just level up, their specific star cards that have let's see if you're playing like Darth Vader, okay? You get damage resistance. I'm not saying, you know, that that I know specifically what skills there are for Darth Vader. I'm just saying this as an example. As an example, you can level up Darth Vader's damage resistance all the way to 100, which means he will not he will barely take any damage at all. Basically, he's in God mode. And he's got another skill which lets him, kill everyone in one hit or something to that effect, basically making him completely OP and practically unkillable. And basically, the star card system is basically pay to win, and that is not okay. And that is what's going to kill the game. I've actually seen, actual footage of the Battlefront 2 beta, and I have to admit, I can't lie about this. It looks really, really fun. It looks good, it looks fun, but the main thing that is really going to kill this game is the publishers. And and how they're going to do that is the star card system. Like the star card system is the game's death. Like I'm gonna say it's gonna be say like about 6 months until people stop playing the game, and EA's gonna be right back to square one, saying, "Well, we tried this and tried everything. What did we do wrong?" And you plainly know what you did wrong, you greedy fucks. But anyway, and this is another thing. It was recently announced, not just recently, but a few days, I think like in late September. I don't remember who said it, but they said that Battlefront 2 will have only 40 players max instead of like 64. Okay. Okay, I can understand like 32 player games and 64. Honestly, you can't have a middle ground. You either have, 8 players, 16 players, 32 players, or 64 players. You can have any one of those. You do not go for 40 because it's stupid. And besides which, and here, look at this. In Classic Battlefront 2, the update put in a 64 player cap. And here's the real reason why I want to talk about this, okay? All right, back to this again. Why did Disney release an update for a classic game that everyone loves, that enables multiplayer back into the game with the addition of 64 players? Because Disney knows that the new Battlefront 2 is going to fail and fail miserably. And the thing is that Disney owns everything Star Wars. They own the movie rights and I think the game rights, even though EA can, has the publishing rights for, most of the thing. But the thing is that Disney is now the sole benefactor of, everything Star Wars. And and this is important, that can also take away publishing rights from anyone if they see fit, because they are the sole benefactors. And I know what you're thinking when I'm bringing this up, because this is important. and I believe that it's probably going to come very true. It might not happen, today. It might not happen, a month down the line, or maybe after the game is released. But at some point, it's going to happen. But I am pretty sure that's that some months like after Battlefront 2 is released, Disney is going to pull the publishing license away from EA and give it to some other publishing company. I mean, Disney might take the publishing rights for themselves and publish other Star Wars games in the future, or they can just give it to another gaming publisher. But this is the thing, all right? And the thing is that Disney has a valid reason for doing this, because right now EA is tanking really, really bad. Like I said, with Mass Effect drama and NBA 2K, not to mention the fact that support for EA's, Battlefront 1 pretty much, just went out the window and didn't last very long. Now, the thing is that EA promised that they're not going to make those mistakes and that they're going to add this and that and make it fun and everything. But again, the star card system is what's going to kill it. That and the 40-player limit. And And Disney understands this. And the reason why they updated Classic Battlefront 2 to have multiplayer again is have it as a backup system in case the newer Battlefront 2 completely tanks. And trust me, it will. It might not be on release day, but it's going to happen somewhere between then and I guessing like a year after. So yeah. Now I can see many different possibilities on what might happen. All right. Basically, I'm gonna say this right now, but basically, Disney just called out on EA's bullshit. All right, Disney did not have to do this. They could have just kept being ignorant, keep EA from making the same game and the same mistakes over and over and over again, with hardly any results, barely any money coming in, and well, I mean, lots of money coming in, but no staying power is what I mean. But the fact is that the thing is that the star card system, again, it's going to kill the game. Maybe people will use it, but with the overpowered heroes, and the skill sets and everything, people are not going to play this game very long. Like, they're going to get killed instantly by like an overpowered Boba Fett or an overpowered Luke Skywalker, and they're done. They rage quit and they never start the game back up again, because what's the point? And trust me, it's true. It's very, very true. Now, basically, Disney's action of of making this update for Classic Battlefront 2 is basically is basically a a stand, but also a threat to Electronic Arts, and that threat and stand is that if you're going to keep making more bad games, making more bad games with our license, we're going to take it away from you and give it to someone that actually knows what the hell they're doing. Okay, I never liked the fact that EA had the rights to, Star Wars, but this big update pretty much gave me a little bit of hope, because it means that Disney actually cares about the fans of, the Star Wars, series. And I'm pretty sure that they know that classic Battlefront 2 is still, to this day, beloved of most than the newer ones. So I imagine, regardless of how it goes, regardless of the sales, regardless of on how well it goes, maybe once it's released, it turns out to be great and nobody has a problem with it. But the fact is that no matter what happens in the future, the result is going to be the same. EA is no longer in the future going to be able to hold the Star Wars license or even to make Star Wars games. And this because because Disney at that moment on October 2nd, without saying a lick of anything but the meaning behind it, that 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 we're not going to stand for you, take using, our license as a joke, or whatever, or something. I don't know. I'm bad at explaining things. I had this all perfectly set up in my head, but apparently whatever. And this could lead to, some other things. Once EA is Electronic Arts' Star Wars publishing license is pulled from Disney, some things may happen. A lot of things may happen, some might not, some might do. But one of the things that I want to talk about here is the possibilities on where does where will the license go if it's pulled from Electronic Arts? Will Disney keep it and become a publisher for the rest of the new Star Wars games in the future, or or two, will they give it to some other publisher that that they may have had dealings with in the past? Like, for instance, I think I think we all know that that Disney has been in, business with Square Enix because of, the Kingdom Hearts series, so they might give the publishing rights to them to make Star Wars games from then on. And quite frankly, it's a some people might, disagree with that, but honestly, I think, and most people will agree, it will be a better change than Electronic Arts handling it. But the main thing is that what happens to Battlefront 2 if the license is pulled? Again, many possibilities might happen. Disney may keep, the game going, but if they manage to, ke- get a hold of Dice and have them, stay as like the developer of the game, there's going to be a lot of changes to Battlefront 2, mainly an entire overhaul of all the stuff that EA shoehorned into it. Or if EA starts getting, pissy, and trust me, they will. They're going to, force a lawsuit on, Disney, and it's going to go on for months, maybe even years, until we, hear of something. But in the end, um, but in the end, whatever. But another possibility is that is that okay? Disney might try to get another developer to, change, a lot with the changes with Battlefront 2, but this is the thing. It can't happen because one thing is that a developer is unable to touch another developer's game because number one, they got to have the source code for it, and or maybe they can. I don't know, but anyway, it's going to be more difficult for them, or maybe they'll just cut off support for Battlefront 2, and it ends up being a dead game. No servers, no nothing. It's just dead. And the thing is, and this is another possibility, but the thing is that the Battlefront games, the newer ones, are only available on one digital distribution network, and that is Origin. All right, EA is not going to share it with others. They won't. They refuse. The thing is that if you want to have more sales, you got to even out the distribution, thing to different platforms. They're not going to do it for Steam because because EA really does not like Steam, mainly because they know that Valve is practically better than them in every way. They're not going to distribute to like a Uplay because that's like Ubisoft only. But then again, this is the thing: not a lot of people trust EA or Origin, and there are less people trying to play any of their games. Like it's like I don't know what it's like on most Origin, on servers, but I imagine that there's like maybe 12 servers up for a game at the most, and quite frankly, that in terms of playability and everything, that's actually kind of pathetic. And I imagine at least four of them are like slightly full with like about I don't know like 50 players or higher or something, or at least somewhere like that, and the rest of them are just like four players, two players, one, that kind of thing. So so yeah, but again, regardless of I gave out theories and everything, but again, like I said, the main point is that Disney has made a statement. Here's the facts. Disney released a game, no, not released an update for a classic game that re-enables multiplayer back into everyone's favorite Star Wars game. And some people are happy, some people are not happy because of the fact that the sometimes the multiplayer works, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, like I showed before. But it worked for me plenty of times, and I've had no problem. I don't know why it's just not working now that I'm recording. But the main factor is that this isn't just some promotional stunt to promote Battlefront 2, because that it doesn't make any sense. Why update a classic game that has more features than the current new one that's going to come out? But but let's face the facts. Sometime in the future, in the near future, might not be on release day, but it may be, in the months to come. I'm going to say five. I'm going to say like 6 months. I'm not going to say less because 6 months sounds about right. But at some point, Disney is going to put its foot down, and they're going to amass a lot of evidence saying that EA, Electronic Arts, is unfit for the publishing rights of Star Wars games, and they're going to take it away from them because they can, because they're the primary holders of Star Wars in of itself. They can do that. And they're possibly either going to, do the publishing rights themselves or give the publishing rights to some other um, gaming publisher company like Square Enix, like I mentioned. All I'm saying is that is that a, a big change is going to happen. What happened on October 2nd when the update released sent a big drop into a pool that will send a big ripple to everything. A big change is going to come very, very soon. And whether it's for good or for ill or whatever, it's going to be amazing. And the media and the community and whatever are just going to eat it up, and it's going to be great. But it will also guarantee the fact that we're probably never going to have, a bad Star Wars game ever again, or even, a decent one at least, not a goddamn horrible one. But anyway, that's all I wanted to, share and everything. So I just wanted to get that out of my system. I want to explain more about it, but I guess this is as close as I'm going to get because I don't know. My brain and my mouth apparently don't work together properly for some reason. But again, I um I hope you were enlightened by this video, and I would love to hear your take, on my opinion and everything. And hell, maybe this video will maybe start something interesting. Maybe so, maybe no. We'll see. But I would like to hear your opinion on what you think my thoughts are about, saying that if it holds water or I'm just full of shit. But anyway, I just wanted to share this thought to you and see what would become of it in the future. So hopefully I didn't waste any time, boring you to death. So anyway, I'm just gonna cut this video off, and I will be doing future playthrough videos in the future, and I'll basically find out a way to eventually get done with the last door. So anyway, I will see you later.